Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is now the third and final part of Ask the King for episode 35, August 1st, 2013. This is going to be the live Q&A session with the stream chat. Basically, they've been submitting questions to me the entire length of the stream, excuse me, via a raffle. And now we're going to close that raffle, and we're going to start drawing the answers from it, okay? So I'd like to ask the mods to please close the raffle. And we can go to subscriber-only mode in the chat so that we can draw the questions and we don't get flooded with 700 people all talking at once. Let's go right ahead. Go ahead here. We're going to draw our first question. Someone, please. Anyone wants to draw the first question? What's going on? All right, here we go. If you had your own game, what kind of game would it be? If I had my own game, what kind of game would it be? I don't know. Like, obviously, the thing I would want to say is a fighter. You know what I mean? A fighting game. Because I could probably do a really good job making a game like that. I know about balance. I know about footsies. I know how you can implement combos and supers and all kinds of stuff in a fighting game. But I don't know if I would. I've thought about other things in the past. I've talked about this a long time ago. An FPS game that featured varied combat. And what I mean is, like, imagine if you had a first-person shooter game that featured Captain Soap from Call of Duty, Duke Nukem, the Spartan, basically every badass character from a first-person shooter who was, like, kind of iconic, but have it so that you can play the game as them, with their respective gameplay styles. So if you're Duke Nukem, you can have all of his weapons and switch between them on the fly. If it's Call of Duty, it's more like running around, cover-based, having airstrikes coming in with kill streaks. If you played it as the Spartan, obviously you have your Spartan armor and the shields, and you can run around. Imagine a game like that. How crazy that would be. And then it could be like, oh, this guy's the top Spartan, this guy's the top Call of Duty player or whatever. Or mech. Someone could be in a first-person mech, like Mech Warrior. They're driving a mech around, but there's the disadvantages to having a mech, like you're slow or something. I think that would be pretty neat, and it would be the biggest fucking tie-in of games ever. They would all, how would you ever get that many franchises together into one game? You probably never will. All right, next question, please. For some reason, it's not working. Everyone's trying to pull a question. It's not drawing one now. What's going on? That's not good. Whoa, now it drew 4 questions at once. Excellent. Alright, so the first one. Seeing how the next-gen consoles have multiple uses, do you think they're losing some of their personality as dedicated gaming machines? And in this very video, you said that as of now, you're not planning to use the record and edit capabilities of the systems. Should companies focus less on these features and more on games? Obviously, it's a fucking gaming system. You should focus on the games. 100% I agree with that statement. Obviously, what they're trying to do is they're trying to compete now because there are people who are doing Let's Plays or whatever, and they're saying, oh, buy our console, you could do your own Let's Plays. It's the biggest thing on the internet. But at the same time, I don't think what these console makers are realizing is that's going to massively dilute the market for Let's Plays. If everyone does it, there's no more originality to it, and no one's going to care about it, alright? Yes, they should fucking stop caring about TV and only care about games. That's the bottom line. The next question that was pulled, will we see Kingdom Hearts 1+2 before we see your Kingdom Hearts 3 playthrough? I am planning on doing the Kingdom Hearts collection, HD collection, that's coming out in, September? I don't know how far I'm going to get and how many of the games I'm going to get to play, simply because Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out only a couple weeks after that. I don't know what games it even includes, if it has 1 and 2, or if it's just 1 and like a spin-off, but that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Will I play Kingdom Hearts 2 before 3? Maybe. We have to see. I hate it when people ask me these questions, like, how could I possibly foresee what's going to happen between then and that? But, alright, I'm at least playing the HD collection. Next question. How do you feel about the future of games and how they are becoming digitized? What on earth does that mean? Digitized? You mean like in the 1990s when they digitized people for Mortal Kombat? Yeah, the future of games, man. I don't know. That was a weird question. All right, let's pull another question, everyone, please. Next question. If it ever gets pulled, here we go. What do you think is the best console ever made and why? Oh God, I mean, you can't define. Oh, this is the best console ever. I can tell you there were consoles that were definitely the leaders during their time. Obviously, the NES outshined the TurboGrafx, outshined the Sega Master System. The Super NES was better than the Genesis graphically, and it had a wider selection of games, although the Genesis did have a lot of good console-exclusive games, but I still think the SNES kind of edged it out. I think the next generation, the PlayStation 1, came up the far and ahead winner. The generation after that, actually, there was kind of a middle generation there, a weird middle generation where the Dreamcast was outstanding, but really didn't get any steam in the United States. The PS2 won the next generation. I really think that this generation current was weird because you had the Xbox that came out first and had a lot better online capabilities and achievements and all kinds of cool stuff that the PlayStation 3 didn't, but the PlayStation 3 in the long run ended up kind of being slightly better, having the Blu-ray. So, I don't know. This generation, I can't say. There's no definitive best console of all time. That's a ridiculous question. How do I feel about girls with breast implants? I actually do not particularly, now keep in mind, it's been a while since I felt them, I don't particularly like breast implants. I think that they look fake. They definitely do not feel natural. At least the ones that I felt. Maybe they have new technology now, but I'm not an implant guy. Let's put it that way. I like the natural tick-bitties. I just realized I haven't been reading the names of the people asking the questions. Oops, I should do that. All right, the next question. Gummy Guy asks, DSP, if you ever find that you may be getting burnt out on making gaming videos, would you ever consider once again finding a so-called real job? Not saying that this isn't a real job. I mean, listen, there's no guarantee that what I'm doing right now is going to pay the bills forever. All right? Right now I'm still doing well, even though it's funny people say, Phil, I can't believe it. I went to your channel today and your playthroughs of retro stuff aren't getting good views, and, you know, not every game that you play is getting amazing views anymore. What are you going to do? You're going to have to get a real job. Wait a minute. I'm okay. I was doing good. Like those 2 years, what was it, 2011, 2012, I did ridiculously well for myself, like way better than I thought I ever would. Now it's calming down a bit. It doesn't mean that the world is ending. Take a look. When a good game comes out, like Bioshock Infinite, like The Last of Us, like Deadpool, when I do the playthroughs of those games, they get great views. Injustice, the story mode of Injustice is one of the best playthroughs I did this year, performance-wise. So when it comes to that stuff, I'm doing fine. I've actually, like I said, I'm becoming a more consistent view count each month where I'm seeing, okay, this is about what I'm going to get now every month. It's actually helping me now to more reasonably plan out my future. Rather than, oh, 1 month it's high, 1 month it's low, it's here, and I have no idea how I'm going to be doing overall. Now I'm starting to see some leveling out, and it's actually a good thing, okay? If I ever do get to the point where it's not enough to support myself and I have to get a full-time job, I mean, you have to do it. You know what I mean? You have to do what you have to do to make ends meet. And I'm not completely against going back to the workforce, so to speak. The problem being, number one, as I've said many times, the job sector that I worked in, there are no jobs. The jobs that you're hearing being reported by the mainstream media, oh, there's all these new jobs, there's 50,000 new jobs open today. They're line-level, entry-level jobs. A lot of them pay minimum wage or just a little bit over minimum wage. These are not cost of living jobs. These are not jobs that you can work at and actually make a living. These are service industry jobs, because all the jobs that intelligent people were doing, they all got shipped overseas. Now you've just got any old Joe Schmo can do this line level job, and look who's actually working it. Who is the guy who's checking you out at the grocery store, he's probably a guy who used to work a 9-to-5 office job, got laid off, and now he has to take this job because there's nothing else. And he's so whipped because he has a family that he has to work 2-3 jobs. He has to do everything his boss tells him. He can never question anything. He gets bullied at his job by his management because he needs the money desperately to make ends meet and not lose his house and not lose everything he has supporting his family. This is the situation in America and worldwide right now. All right? So for me to easily, oh, would you just go back to the workforce? I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could even find jobs that were anything like what I was doing, all right? Like, you know what I mean? And a lot of the things, they'll probably say, well, you're overqualified for the jobs that are available. That's what's happening, unfortunately, with my dad right now. He's on the older side. He's in his 50s. He got laid off, and every job he applies for, they say, well, you're overqualified for it. We're probably going to go for someone else who's going to be a lot more desperate than you and probably not looking for a better job, and we can probably basically mistreat this employee, and he's going to have to put up with it. It's a bad situation. But it's not like I'm against having to do it. I'm just hoping that I can continue to do like what I'm doing and eventually maybe start a business outside of YouTube and Twitch where it's enough to support me and I can still be my own boss, because I love, absolutely, the biggest asset of this is being able to be my own boss, doing exactly what I want to do and having my success hinge on my own creativity rather than what my boss tells me to do and holding me back from stuff that I want to do. Okay? Now hold on, because I think I missed a question. Here we go. From L or I Games 8. I cannot read it. Whatever happened to Gaming on the Go? Gaming on the Go, I only did one episode of it. It was an idea for a new series for the King of Hate vlogs earlier this year, where I was going to review mobile app and mobile games. To be honest, if I wanted to revive the series, I probably could, because right now I'm playing multiple games. I'm playing Injustice mobile app. I'm playing Marvel War of Heroes mobile app. I've actually purchased a few games like Monopoly and stuff like that, and I could probably review a lot of them. I haven't gotten back to it because I've been so busy with other stuff. I've got DSP Tries that's going on. I've got Ask the King. I got my new podcast. I've still got game reviews. Yeah, I know. Eventually, I will still do game reviews if I ever fucking buy a retail game that's worth reviewing. You know, I've got other stuff that I've been using to fill the time and the space between vlogs. There hasn't been like, oh no, I have no content for this week to put on the vlogging channel. But it is a good idea that maybe I could get back to that. The one difficulty that I had was actually recording. When I actually did do Gaming on the Go, I couldn't figure out really how to record properly for the one episode that I did. I'm not saying I'll never bring it back, but I have content that I could actually probably significantly review. I just got to figure out a better way to record it, okay? Alright, let's see. This one is from Phillies Fan 136. He says, what is your opinion on the Nintendo 64? It's the console that I grew up with. I have mixed feelings about the Nintendo 64 because as I said, one of my favorite consoles growing up was the Super Nintendo. I absolutely loved it. I felt it had the best controller. I felt that it had the best selection of games, the best graphics, the best sound. It really was the best. Of that time period, they did the best. And then when the Nintendo 64 came out, this was the very first time where Nintendo decided to do some of the weirdest shit. Oh, we know better than everyone else. So all the other gaming consoles, all right, are going to shift to CDs because they said they want a higher storage capacity, and if you shift to CDs, they could do a lot more with the games. No, we like cartridges. So we're going to only put out games on cartridges. By the way, the cartridges are going to be more expensive for you to buy, more expensive for us to make games on, and because we made this weird choice, a lot of game developers decided to not put their game series on Nintendo consoles because they don't want to put it on a cartridge. Case in point, huge coup for Sony was Final Fantasy VII. Every Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 were huge for Nintendo in America, and in Japan they had put out 6 of them. They were huge sales successes, and then you had other Square Enix games like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, that did incredibly well on the Super NES, and they lost all of those games when it went to the PlayStation because they wanted to go with the CD technology, and Nintendo refused to innovate. In addition to that, the controller for the Nintendo 64 was a piece of shit. I'm going to say that again. It was a piece of shit. You pick up a gamepad like this for the Super Nintendo. Oh, it's beautiful. It's ergonomic. It fits my hand. You've got enough buttons to pretty much control anything you want to do. It's lightweight. All right? They threw all that away with the Nintendo 64. They put in a thing that weighed a lot because you had a rumble pack on the back of the fucking thing, so the thing weighed a ton. It had a thumbstick that was one of the first thumbsticks ever designed. It was poorly designed. A lot of people complained that the thumbstick would wear out and break after using it for a period of time. The buttons were oddly placed, so depending on what game you were playing, sometimes you would hold it like this, sometimes you would hold it like this. There were even games where you would hold it like this, which I could never understand. You could use a thumbstick and a D-pad, but some games did that. It was just a weird choice, and I think that it was really, there was growing pains of moving into the next generation of games where everything was going to be 3D and you had free roam of movement. Getting a thumbstick and a design of buttons that was like easy to use but also felt good, it just didn't work. It didn't work. The games, all the first-party games for the console were excellent. You had the Zeldas, you had Mario, you had Star Fox, you had Mario Kart. All those games were outstanding. But I really feel the Nintendo 64 was the beginning of the downward slope for Nintendo. They lost their #1 spot in the market, and since then, they're just fumbling now. I mean, with the Wii U. I mean, wow. I can't believe how far they've fallen. All right, I'm probably just going to take one or two more questions, okay? The next question here is from Iviel. I can't really read it. Iviel, I think it says. He said, what things did you do as a child when you look back on today and you go, oh God, why the hell did I do that? For example, I used to talk very loudly and make the corniest jokes I saw on TV. Now I wish I could go back in time and kill myself. Everything about seeing a psychiatrist? I don't know. I don't remember doing any weird things or things outside the box. You know what I mean? If anything, I kind of made the conscious decision as a kid that I would be into techie stuff, into video games, rather than being a sports kid. But besides that choice, I mean, I've got a severely herniated disc. If I were like super heavily into sports, I might have injured my back even earlier in my life. It could have been even worse off for me. I don't know. I don't think I have anything that I could definitively say, man, I used to do weird shit, and I don't know why I did it. Not that I can think of. But, yeah, that was a weird question. That was a weird question. Ooh. Let's see. I'll take two more questions. So one's already pulled from Optic Nanners. He says, do you know SSOHPKC? And the answer is, no, I do not know him. I've only spoken to him through tweets and maybe through comments on videos and stuff. I think through a PM once on YouTube. Have not talked to him. Don't know him personally. No. The answer is no. All right. All right, then the last question. Well, we got two more that got pulled, so I'll answer them both, and this will be the last two questions. From Gruff Gangster 12345, he says, "You said that you will play any new games like Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4, and Watch Dogs as soon as they are released. But if viewers hold off on watching these games to watch the better versions on new consoles, will this change your mindset? On what possible planet would someone say, I'm not going to watch the brand new game that's available now. I'd rather wait 3 weeks to watch it on the PS4. That's never going to happen. What'll happen is they'll watch the new one. Oh, it's the new game. Let me see it. They'll watch it then, and then they'll say, well, now I want to see on the next-gen consoles, is it any different, or is it really just the same thing? Okay? There's no guarantee that a cross-platform game that's on the PS3 and the PS4 is going to be any better on the PS4, besides maybe some minor graphical tweaks, than it is on the PS3. No one's ever knows, oh, there's 20 new game modes on the PS4 that aren't on the PS3. No games have announced anything like that. So I really think this is kind of a false hypothetical. But if by some ridiculous, freak chance that people don't watch the stuff when it's new, I don't know, because I love playing games on release day when they're new. I don't see any kind of an asset to holding off on playing this possibly great game when I can play it just because I want to play it on the next gen console, just in case there's a graphical tweak. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. All right, and the last question from Langsty. I cannot read that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Are you going to play Borderlands 2 again? Why on earth would I play Borderlands 2 again? Borderlands 2 is what it is. It's a game that's really fun to play with friends for co-op. It's not exactly a game that's a lot of fun to watch because it is so repetitive. There's a lot of gameplay to it, and it's a lot of repetitive grinding combat. And quite honestly, I did not enjoy Borderlands 2 as much as I did Borderlands 1. I thought it was just more of the same. I don't really think they improved too much upon the first game. Wasn't like blown over by. I thought it was good, but I wasn't blown away by the game. And I don't think I would want to do a second playthrough of it. There's nothing that would be an incentive for me to go back and replay. Oh no, I gotta get more loot. Like, you know, I don't get addicted to that kind of stuff anymore like I used to with my earlier gaming years. Oh, I gotta keep playing Diablo 2 because I gotta get more loot. Like, what's the entertainment value in that? I don't really see it anymore. Okay. All right, you know what? I'll pull one more question, and this will be the last one. So if we can pull one more question, I'm only answering one more, and that's it. All right? All right, P-Dog pulled it. This is the last question. This is from Evolution360TN. I can't really see it. It says, have you bought the GTA 5 and Watch Dogs Collector's Editions, and have you pre-ordered any other Collector's Editions? Yes, GTA 5 I definitely did. Watch Dogs I'm not sure, because I don't know if when I pre-ordered it, if there was a Collector's Edition available. I'm probably going to have to check on that soon. Other Collector's Editions, I think I have to upgrade my Assassin's Creed to the Collector's Edition that has the statue. If you remember, on one of my episodes of Hate Live recently, I showed that there were like 5 editions of the game in Europe, and there was only one in America. I think it's now been released that there is a Collector's Edition in America. They were just holding off on announcing it, so I'm probably going to upgrade that one. I'm trying to think when I reserved the games. Hold on a second. I'm trying to think if there was. Let me look at my calendar very quickly here. Let's see. I think there's one for Batman. Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure. I think I did it. I think I did it for Saints Row 4. I'm not positive, but no, I didn't do it for Batman because it wasn't available yet. I think there may be one for Batman now that I may be able to do. There's not a whole bunch of them this year, but there are a few. So that's pretty much, you know, probably the few that we're talking about is that small handful that I just mentioned. So, all right, so that is it for Ask the King. It was quite a long episode this time around. Lots to talk about. I had lots of questions to answer. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be involved in Ask the King, there's several ways for you to submit your questions. You can go to my forums right now, thekingofhate.com. There's already a thread for the next episode, which is going to be the first week of September. So go check it out. It has all the details there. You can post up your question there, and I read every single one of those questions. So that's your best chance of having me read and select your question, okay? But in addition to that, the day of when I do this, I tweet and I accept Facebook questions as well, as you saw. And then we also do the live Q&A. So, all right, that's it for Ask the King this week. Next week, returning will be a new Hate Live podcast in place of this. So definitely next week, tune into Hate Live. But that's it. Thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in to Ask the King. I appreciate your viewership, whether it's on Twitch TV live streaming, whether it's on the King of Hate vlogs on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.